Today we're in Paris, all around Charles de Gaulle Airport with Air France as they show us their extensive maintenance operations here. To the enormous hangars where the Airbus fleet goes in for regular maintenance, we've got an all-access pass. Come along and see how things are done at Air France Maintenance. Welcome back to Paris, where we're with Air France once again today, doing our second video with them, and we're all around their maintenance operation here in the vicinity of Charles de Gaulle Airport. We're starting off at this place called Helios. It's a facility that repairs, works on components, structures of aircraft, and in here we're looking at a repair being done to an engine cowling. And they've got radome right behind me. You can see very cool stuff to get really in-depth, close look at, and we'll be going around the system looking at other aspects as well. So it should be a fun day of maintenance discovery. Every one of these is a little bit different and always so fascinating. Hope you enjoy, and let's go check out what Air France does here to keep their planes flying.
So my name is Jack Sparrow and I am actor. No, my name is Kevin and I work for Air France since 8 years now.
Breakfast?
Yes, English breakfast with my English tea. If you want to see, it's a bit blue. We put 2 resin inside and we mix it.
Wow.
It's part A and part B. We have to follow a ratio. One you have to put more than the other. But they are doing the same here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw.
Yeah.
The same repair. You saw my draw here, my circle.
Yeah.
They are here. And then we apply the resin inside the carbon ply. Yeah, I have to put all around the circle. Because this one, you know, is a different type of material. This one is carbon, this one is fiberglass. That's why it's white, and you see, we can see through because it's white with the resin. So now we can wait 5-10 minutes. The time to the resin go through the fiber carbon and fiberglass.
Over on this side we have freezers that are there to hold carbon fiber to preserve it. Apparently if you let it warm up when you're not ready to, it becomes useless after about 20 minutes. I don't totally understand the technical side of that, but we can look into it.
So the fridge, so there we stock all of our composite items there. So we need to put all the glue and the carbon inside because we have to keep in a cool temperature inside.
By the way, this is the infamous speed tape. I don't know if I should say infamous. It's the one that people always see getting applied to aircraft and shoot videos out the window and think that some technician is putting duct tape to hold together the wing. Pretty cool to actually hold it. I've never actually seen it up close like this. Cool, right? It's amazing stuff. The things you can do with this. It's a roll of tape.
So inside there is all the composite items to put on all items to repair. You have the glue, you have the carbon with the resin already impregnated on it, So as I told you, all the items need to keep in a very cool temperature. If you want. So you need to have all the traceability of the item. When it's at this temperature, we can use it for the moment. So if you know that we have this kind of preparation, you need to put outside to take on it to heat it, and after you can put on all the element.
If it's not stored in cold temperature, what happens to it?
We can't use it. Quand ça, c'est pas conservé à température froide, ça perd de sa substance. Et en fait, si on ne garde pas à l'intérieur, il y a une date de péremption aussi.
The structure is compromised.
Yes, that's it. The structure is compromised, so that's why we need to keep at this temperature. There is two cool fridge, but it's the same things.
This one is just for Radom.
Yes, this is for Radom, and this is for all the other elements.
Cool.
This resin all around the rebar. So yeah, we put all in around, take this scotch, and we're gonna put in around the rebar, because when it's gonna be inside the vessie in French,
Yeah.
the liquid gonna go out of the rebar.
Yeah.
So with the scotch, we're gonna keep it all around, because if it's gonna go there or there or there, after you have to sand. So we put some scotch all around. This is what I make yesterday. So the first ply gonna go there, and then the second and the third, fourth and fifth. I draw this, after I draw this, and when I put it there, it's like step by step thing, very interesting. So one moment, one fan call came here in Helios, we have to fix it, but there was a hole inside. Imagine something broke the fan call through, there was a hole like that, and we fix it 1 month after. He left this area totally new.
Wow.
We changed the honeycomb, we changed the carbon ply, and really. And I will apply in order P1, P2, P3, extra ply 2, and fiberglass in the end. So we start with that. I take off like that. So you see the carbon is full with resin. Put it in the middle. Second one. And you know we follow this ply map. And you see for this rebar there is 5 plies in total. But when you see this one, there was maybe 20 plies, and the form was so big. So it was 2 like that. So it was very more complicated, this one.
Wow.
I did it with the 2 guys. I told you there was with more knowledge than me.
Yeah.
And it was, wow, a big one. You know, with the glove, it's sticky.
It looks so difficult.
I haven't told you, but I don't know if you saw on your camera, the fiber goes like that, tack, tack. You have to put 1 ply like that and 1 ply like that. 90 degrees and 45 degrees, each ply. After I follow the procedure of repair.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like that, 145, 190, 145, 190. You see the little fiber of the carbon? When it's like that, it's okay, because it doesn't go through your body, but it can be very bad for the body, the carbon. When we send it, you know, you have to put a mask, because it's really bad, it's not healthy. But it's good for the plane because it's not heavy and very strong. That's why we use a lot of carbon. Usually we use cutter or scissor, something very thin. This one is the most complicated. In French, it's tissu d'arrachage. When the repair gonna be finished, we will take off this the rebar don't stick on this. This is perfect for takeoff. Next step, we put this stuff, then this stuff, and this stuff, and this in the end, and we're gonna take off the air inside, you know, like that is gonna be very compact. After this and this, I put that.
Okay.
This is the heat, you know, to make it warm. And then for 222 minutes in 93 degrees, we're gonna leave my repair for 1.5 hours approximately. We take off all this stuff, and we double check, like I told you, with the tap test, tac, 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 with the nose, and then with the machine like that, they send the signal inside to see if there is anything broken, like the honeycomb of the ply carbon. And basically that's it.
And it's ready.
Yes, and in the end, when after they said yes, the two tap test and the NDT, it's ready. They will paint, but after it's not Air France, it's another company. They will paint, but it's inside this building, they will paint it here. You can see, like, for example, inside is not paint. You see,
Right, yeah.
it's not finished. When we're gonna finish all the repair, put back all the stuff on it, they will paint in the end. Because it's not only for the cosmetic, the painture. There is some paint for protect the carbon, protect the aircraft, protect the plane.
So here we get a little look at the autoclave, which is where they can bring. It's about pressure and temperature.
Pressure. We put pressure on the aircraft element and to cure all the composite preparation.
Yeah, a key part of dealing with carbon composites.
Most part of time radom come here because of bird strike like this one. All of these parts are a damage because we can hear the limited part of the damage with the tap test. So when we do an inspection, we do a tap test all around each part of the radom. So as you can hear, there is a defect, but it's clear
So
now.
that change in sound indicates
Yes,
defect.
because there is like fan cowl. Radom are composed of a little layer of fiberglass and also a composite part called honeycomb.
Yeah.
No, and so when there is a bus track, all the parts there is a delamination of each part of fiberglass and honeycomb. So when you do inspection, that's the sound that you hear. So the damage begin here,
Yeah.
as you can see. And most part of the radom who come from here, the principal damage because of the lot of bird in the sky and also the lightning strike.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we do this kind of reparation. Most part of time there is also moisture inside the radom. So that's the principal damage that we have on the radom. The Boeing documentation asks us to do all 10 millimeters. So you are like this for all the part of radom. Each faces.
Amazing.
And we are around 200 people. We repair around 2,000 components per year for Air France, KLM, and also for the customers. All the aerostructure components we can find on the nacelles and also on the structure of the aircraft.
All right, now we're headed to the next part of this video, which is to visit the building that they call H2. It's where they do light maintenance on the Airbus family aircraft. They do their heavy maintenance down at Orly, and up here they do some light maintenance. There's also a building called H1, which is where they do Boeing, and it's divided like that. But we're gonna see H2 today, check out what they're doing light maintenance on the Airbus. apparently this building is on the Register of Historic Monuments. It was built in the 70s. It was the first maintenance base at Charles de Gaulle. This is where it all started in terms of maintenance here. And it's a very cool space. So they get about 20 to 30 aircraft coming through here every week for light checks, what they call A checks. These are not super time-intensive, time-consuming maintenance checks, but necessary parts of the operation of the aircraft as it goes along. And you see you have all the Airbus in here. You have A220, I see A320, and there's a 350 over here. And they all look amazing with the Air France tails. When they work on engines, apparently the engine shop is by Orly, but they'll send it up here to be finally installed on the aircraft, and then they'll do the engine test outside. You can hear it happening right now. They call it in French the point fixe, and that's the last step before the aircraft is released back into service. You can hear an engine just running. I don't know what kind of thrust that is, but it's kind of cool because you rarely hear that sound, and they just raise it up a little bit more. But you rarely hear that sound so continuous like that, where the aircraft then isn't moving, right? It's as if you were able to be kind of on the wing with the thrust kind of high, with the aircraft moving forward, and hear that constant sound. Really cool. As it turns out, this A350 here is actually the first one that Air France took delivery of back when they introduced this into the fleet. And it's here for one day to get its light check, which actually involves checking all kinds of systems throughout the aircraft, but it just takes the day. So they're testing the engines, they're testing the circuitry, they're testing the landing gear, everything, but it's not super intensive, invasive check. And this is a check that happens every 1,000 hours. So it'll need to come in for a day every 1,000 hours. And that's what we see going on here. So this is the electronics bay, is that right?
Yeah.
This is the electronics bay, which you access via the forward cargo compartment here. Very, very cool to be inside.
The battery, the computer for the flight control, for the hydraulic, for the pack, air conditioning, etc., etc. You have many computers for one system. Usually you have 2 or 3 computers for each system.
Yeah.
For the flight control, you have minimum 3 computers by system. It's the secure for when we built the circuits.
So you can see in here how, you know, there are all these redundant systems built in, and that applies, of course, to the computers that control the flight controls, for example. So you see that there are multiple identical boxes repeated, and you have these battery boxes here. Amazing to see this. So they were telling me that it takes about 50 people in a 24-hour span to do this check. It's about 250 man-hours in total. Which is pretty cool because it's a small check, it's a sort of routine light check, but it still is a serious undertaking, right? And how cool to be just in the depths of the 350 like that. It's kind of amazing that exists under you when you're flying this thing. It's actually a thing I've never seen before. I've seen a lot of this before in different variations, different airlines. Not that electronics bay. Amazing. Hello, Trent XWB. This is so cool. So we have a CFM56 from the 320 family right here, and And we have the Pratt & Whitney gear turbofan for the A220 right next to it, and having that contrast, it's amazing. This A321 over here, it's getting an engine changed and it's here for 48 hours in the hangar. It's also kind of impressive to me that they can do an engine swap in that amount of time. This is what they call the H6 building, and it was actually built for the A380 originally. You can tell because it's massive. It's the biggest thing around. Of course, they retired the A380 a few years back and they had to repurpose it basically. So that's what they do now. They do Airbus and Boeing both in here, they just told me. And apparently they went through with a drone to scan the area to figure out the best placement for aircraft after the 380. You know, they had the arrangement for 380 in here, and to sort of reimagine it, repurpose it for other aircraft in the fleet. They did this drone scan to be very precise about how many aircraft they could fit in and exactly where to position them.
Moi, je m'appelle Lala Bilel. Je suis ici au département MTCA, la maintenance Airbus, depuis bientôt 3 ans. Et actuellement, on est sur un Airbus A220-300 et on remplace une roue de main landing gear. Actuellement, mon collègue vient de finir. Là, comme vous pouvez le voir, il est en train de goupiller les derniers axes pour éviter tout problème au niveau de la roue. Donc on a des personnes qualifiées sur ces types de machines qui sont destinées à mettre l'APRS, c'est-à-dire le certificat de remise en ligne de l'avion. Et donc pour avoir cet APRS, il va nous falloir ce qu'on appelle ici le HASA, le certificat libératoire autorisé. Donc ça, c'est ce qui va nous permettre de garantir que la pièce est avionnable et qu'on peut la monter sur avion. Et ce papier-là, il va être joint au dossier avion. Ensuite, ce dossier avion, il va être mis aux mains de l'APRSeur qui, lui, va faire tout le bilan et va pouvoir signer à la fin de la visite l'APRS. Sur l'avion, on peut pratiquer tout type de travail tant que ça reste du domaine B1. Ce que nous, on appelle le domaine B1, c'est la partie mécanique. Ce qu'on appelle la partie B2, ça va être tout ce qui est électronique, test. Mon collègue, mon leader qui est ici, lui, il est B2, qui lui va s'occuper de tout ce qui est câble électrique, câble de commande, câblage, etc. Tout ce qui est l'aspect électronique. Nous, en partie B1, on est plus amené à faire comme là par exemple des changements de roues, des changements de pièces, des changements par exemple de flap ou des changements moteurs par exemple. Suite à ça, suite aux changements de pièces qu'on peut faire, effectivement il y a des tests qu'on doit réaliser. Comme là par exemple sur ce changement de roue, il y a un capteur de pression qui est installé sur la roue. Donc nous, notre devoir c'est d'après aller vérifier au poste que l'information transmise par le capteur de pression est correcte au niveau du poste, que l'information est bonne. Ça fait partie du changement de la roue. Le test est intégré dans la tâche. Donc ici on a la tâche de dépose et d'installation. Comme vous pouvez le voir, on a le texte et ici on a la vue avec les différents éléments à remonter. Et on a aussi les différentes valeurs de torquage ici. Is required many competence, many qualities. I like the challenge. For example, the aircraft need to be released very fast. So to work speed with quality, with security, with safety, it's a little challenge. So I like this. Of course, I'm very proud of the aircraft I repaired. Sometimes I take the aircraft I have repaired from the past. So it's a little satisfaction, you know. I'm very proud of working here in this enterprise.
So this aircraft was actually here for engine borescope, and while it was here, they noticed that they needed to change a tire, a wheel, so they did that as well. They'll try to do these things in combination when the aircraft has time on the ground anyway, downtime. If they find anything else they can do at the same time, it makes a lot of sense to do it. And as you can see, nothing about the cabin is being dealt with during this time in the hangar, so everything in here looks as it does when you board the aircraft, pretty much, when you're flying on an Air France flight. I flew on one of these the other day. If you followed me for a while and this channel, you'll know I absolutely love the A220. It's just so nice to fly on, and it's great to see Air France operating more of these, especially they usually send at least one a day to Stockholm these days. Very happy for that. Even if it's the 6 a.m. flight, it means I have to get up early. I will pick that one. Oh, so you're checking the pressure of the wheel in the system here?
Yeah, sure. 32 is for brake and gear. This is the brake temperature and the pressure. I check the pressure for the nose landing gear.
I have the good fortune of ending up in these really special places where I can get amazing angles on aircraft that you just wouldn't normally get, and this is the latest, which is different than the one I was getting at Airbus when we were kind of on top of the tail of the A350 there, the Swiss A350, and this is just another thing entirely. It's like you're following behind the aircraft just at a little bit of an elevation. What a cool way to see an A350. And this space, these huge spaces, and this one is especially nice because it's so filled with natural light too. Really beautiful. Would have loved to see an A380 in here, but this is pretty cool too with the 350. And now for the final installment, we're headed into the Bâtiment Zephyr, which is where they do the engine testing. That should be another whole different kind of insight into one more aspect of the incredibly complex kind of mosaic of maintenance activities that are necessary. It's so amazing to see it every time. How much goes into this, how many people, how many specializations. And this complex is just massive here at Charles de Gaulle, and it's just one of many that Air France has going. So this building here is one of 2 in Europe like it. There's no others. And the special thing about it is that they can do engine testing in this facility without creating any noise outside. So there's a whole system that's made to do it internally and silence the exhaust so nobody can tell what's happening. And it is, I don't know if they're doing anything right now, but it is very quiet, and it seems like you can't imagine what might be happening in there. It's this whole thing, and we're gonna get a look at it. But here's a diagram for now.
We start with the control room, and after we are going to see the shop. So this is the entry door for engine. We use the cradle to transport the engine from the air.
Wow.
The engine comes on with a cart, and after we fix the engine to the adapter, and we use the cradle to transport engine to the test cell with from the air with the cradle.
So we're inside the room now where they do the engine test, and we're not allowed to film the engine itself. So in case you're wondering why you're not seeing a lot of the engine, that is forbidden by the manufacturer. But we're here behind the big door where they bring these things in. But we can film the front of the engine, which is cool. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you see the cradle go through this way, and we can fix the adapter. The adapter is the blue part with the engine on the thrust balance, just to measure the thrust of the engine and connect the engine to the control room. Started this morning, and the duration of one test is two shifts, and one shift is 7 hours, so for 14 hours to test the engine.
Wow.
So the test of the engine will be finished at 20 o'clock.
Okay.
Approximately. So there is no compressor, no air added, just the air from outside, and the engine vacuum air only.
And what is it that's being monitored? I mean, I guess a lot of parameters.
We monitor the fuel consumption, vibration. AGT is the exhaust gas temperature, the exhaust of the engine, oil consumption, and if the engine run well.
And how often does an engine come in for this test?
It depends that the maintenance that occur during the life of one engine. The test cell operation will be occurred 2 times.
Okay.
And approximately each 5 years. So 5 years on the engine, on the airplane, sorry, and 1 visit, 1 test bench, 5 years, and the other side.
Okay.
Are made on the shop. The connection to the adapter is a quick disconnect connection. No operator's action is needed to connect the engine to the test cell.
Mm-hmm.
Just make the transportation, and there is a platform that move forward to connect the engine to the system. So all the maintenance are made in the shop, and in the test cell it's just the test. This is the flow screen to protect the engine from outside, because this is directly connected to the outside, so you can have foreign object debris or damage. So this flow screen protect the engine, so you can see some part of birds.
And the layers behind that we see, what are they?
This is acoustic panel, just to reduce the noise, and the noise is reducing that permits that we can make the test during all the day and all the night, and every time we want. Wow. Because from the outside there is no noise.
Wow.
This is an acoustic, special acoustic. Go with me. And you can hear this is another acoustic. And when the other person speak at the other side of this acoustic panel, no noise.
You mean the people over there, if they say something, we don't hear them?
Yeah.
Can they not hear us?
It's forbidden to stay here during the test.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So this is deflector panels, just to move the air from vertical flow to horizontal flow from the engine, for the engine. This is fixed deflector. So you can hear me. And normally, it's not possible to hear me now. I speak. Do you hear something?
A little bit, much less.
Yeah.
This is amazing being in here. I feel like I could almost record voiceover in here. It's so kind of dampened, whereas on the other side of this it's completely different. Kind of spooky too. And the people that are just a few feet away over there, the sound of their voices just goes way down. I didn't know anything like this even existed. And as we go through, let's see if you can hear. Squeeze this thing through. How the voice changes. Now it's a totally different sound. It's echoey. We're back in the sort of big echoey hall. Wow.
We just went to the control, to the test cell, and maybe we can forget one object. So to make sure there is no object in the test cell, one mechanics perform a check each time when other people go inside the test cell. So it's a specific process. This is the big chief of the test. So these guys control all the test bench. This place, this is the mechanics that operate the engine in this screen like an airplane. This is the thrust lever with an iPad to have quick command. And on this screen, all engine parameters. So they check all engine parameters. The process to perform the test cell, and on this screen too. So mechanics always follow engine shop manual procedure to perform a test. The controller stamp each phase to certify that each phase is okay, to make sure that the engine run clearly and everything is okay. And after 5 minutes, they can increase the thrust. You can see on the screen here, you see IMC vibration. So we can check vibration. And if you see the scale here, So there is a maximum vibration we allowed to reach. So under 1 is okay, under 2 is okay, and it's not okay. The N1 and N2 RPM speed, 20 is approximately 20% of thrust.
Yeah.
When you reach 100 is the full thrust.
Yeah.
So this is an idle check for this moment. And after 5 minutes, I go to the flight idle, and after maximum continues and full thrust. Server room. So this place is to prepare the engine to the test. So we receive each engine on a cart and we fix the engine to the adapter. So this engine is ready to test. When this engine will be finished, we can start this engine. The engines come from our shop, so at Orly or Roissy Charles de Gaulle. And this engine is a GNX and comes from Amsterdam, Schiphol. Because only Air France has the capability to test this type of engine.
Wow.
Because it's a very big engine.
Yeah.
So the test of the engine will start tomorrow morning at the end of the test of the previous engine. Each bay are dedicated to one type of engine. And at the end of this year, we had 3 types of engine. So LEAP 1A, LEAP 1B, and XWB for the A3050. 6 bay, 3 engine more, so we need to add some bay to perform the test of the future engines.
Okay.
So there are some work in the workstations at this moment. So this is a temporary wall. This is the future extension, so you can see the future building. We received this building in few months, probably at the end of September. And one other shift to disinstall the engine from the adapter. So 4 shifts to test an engine.
28 hours or so.
Yes. So in one day we can pass 1 engine. So this is for CFM, engine for the A3020. This is for the 777-200. Just near, this is a 777-300. And the other, this is the GNX. And the other, this is the Pratt & Whitney. And the Pratt & Whitney is on a test cell. So there is no adapter on the station number 5. So if I want to test this engine, I take it and fix on the adapter. That's all. This is a G90 for the 777.
The 200 version.
Yeah. The 200 and the 300 is on the front, the fan. The fan blades are not the same.
They don't have that curved.
Yeah. And there is some difference inside the propulsor, but it's not recognized on one eye. So it's better to see the fan blade.
So that wraps up our engine testing visit and the overall visit here at the maintenance operations of Air France around Charles de Gaulle Airport. How cool. I hope you enjoyed getting these little insights into how they do all of these things. I know I definitely did. And this engine testing thing is really something else. One thing they keep mentioning is that they are really looking eagerly for more people. They want more maintenance technicians. This is a big part of the business of AFKLM Group, that they do maintenance not only for their own aircraft, but for customers as well who bring their aircraft here or their engines here, different aspects of maintenance that they provide for others. So it's growing and they need people. So if you're someone who is interested in this kind of line of work, any aspect really of this whole maintenance world, from mechanics to running the control room up, doing the engine tests, you name it, they're on the lookout. So I'll put some info below. I'll ask them to send me where you should go if you're interested, but definitely give it a thought. If this is something you want to do for your work, they are eager to have you. And it seems like a bunch of really nice people around here. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining in Paris for Flight Radar 24. I'm Gabriel Lee.